Hi, good morning, my dear student. Today we are going to read your class 11th history, chapter 3 order. Dear student, there is no need to explain that what we are going to read. If you will minutely observe about the heading of this chapter, title of this chapter, then you can easily understand that we are going to discuss about the three order. In history, three order, it means we are going to indicate the socio-economic history of Europe. You have to remember your class 9th SST, chapter 1, French Revolution. When you will analysis that why French Revolution happened, what were the causes behind French Revolution, then you can find out that the society of France divided into three parts: clergy, nobility and peasantry. Clergy have some specific right, they have some religious right, they enjoy their life as a royal person. Second part, nobility. In the noble family, in the noble society, the prosperous people, the person who belongs to royal family, the person who enjoyed the prosperous life, they have some political power. That type of group involved in this group, the second, nobility. And in third, peasantry, that was very vast group of the people where they have no rights. They were only exploiting group. Exploiter exploited them in the every sphere of their life. I hope you have remembered about that two type of tax, livre and tithe and tithe. Two type of tax. Livre, that was coins. They have to pay a tax in both coins and grains. Even they have to provide their services in the mineral state. So, on the basis you can easily understand that what we are going to read in class 11th, that chapter 6, the three order. Dear student, in this chapter we shall learn about the socio-economic and the political changes which occurred in the Western Europe between 9th and 16th century after the fall of the Roman Empire. When 9th and 16th century, what the socio-economic conditions, socio-economic condition, कहाँ का तो कहता है 9 to 16th century socio-economic condition socio-economic condition of European society. European society. This is the very important thing. When Roman Empire fall. Meaning is that, dear student, that we are going to discuss the socio-economic condition of the Roman Empire during 9th to 16th century when the society suffered the various type of problems. Which type of problems? No doubt to say that the society, Roman society, it was categorized in two parts. Roman society was categorized in European society. European society categorized in three parts. I hope you can see. First, that was nobility. First, they were nobles. That was the second order. Or it is very easy to understand that clergy. Second, nobility. And third, peasantry. They have some specific right. They have some specific right. They belong to royal family. Royal family or they belong to royal family. Second, they had some political power. They had property. They had property. They enjoyed their life as a noble, service, elite class, elite or warriors. That is the specific power of the nobility. That is the clergy. They were religious people. It means in the clergy section, the religious people. Religious people, it means the church, priest. They uses the specific rights. They had right tax for the collection of tax. They had right for the collection of the tax. Which type of tax? I had discussed the two type of tax, tithe and tithe. The two type of tax, it was given by which class? Peasantry class. ये जो पूरी व्यवस्था है, इस पूरी व्यवस्था में what you understand that which class suffer, कौन सा वर्ग है जो सफर कर रहा है? No doubt that was peasantry class. And I hope what I tell you that the peasantry class, this group was the very vast than that class nobility, than that class clergy. दोनों क्लास की तुलना में इस क्लास का वर्ग काफी बड़ा था. इसमें कौन कौन से थे? Which I mean to say that the which people, which type of people who belong to peasantry? They were peasants, they were workers, they were artisans, they were liars and such type of others. They belong to peasantry. They had to provide their daily wages. यहाँ पे उनको फ्री ऑफ कास्ट अपने डेली बेसिस को अपने नोबेल के यहाँ देना पड़ता था. उन्हें चर्च के लिए काम करना पड़ता था. That was the main things which I am telling you, my dear student. This is a very interesting chapter. Why? Because on behalf of this chapter, you can easily understand the condition of European society. And after that, which type of changes हैपेंड, किस तरीके का बदलाव हुआ, क्या बदला, कैसे बदला, इन सारी चीजों पे on the basis of that you can easily understand. If you read your book, where clear mention, what? Your book, according to your book in this chapter, what we read? We are going to read the socio-economic and political changes which occurred in Eastern Europe, the Roman Empire, after the fall of the Roman Empire. Many groups of the Germanic people from Eastern and Central Europe occupied the regions of Italy, Spain and France. These conditions was in Italy, Spain and France. Basically, the categorization of society which we discuss in the specific condition of the Italy, Spain and France. In the absence of any unifying political forces, military conflict was frequent and the need gather resources to protect one's land. Because, very important, the social organization was therefore centered on the control of the land, tradition and the German customs. The features derived from the both imperial Roman tradition and the German customs. Christianity, the official religion of the Roman Empire from the 4th century, survived the collapse of the Rome and they gradually spread to current and northern Europe. The church also became a major landholder and the political power in Europe. My dear student, what I am telling you, that here both, it means nobility, they also, what? They land holders. इनके पास जमीन का बड़ा टुकड़ा था. And clergy, religious group, they had also landholders. इनके पास भी जमीन का बड़ा टुकड़ा था. ये दोनों वर्ग एक बड़े जमीन के पार्ट पे अपनी मिल्कियत के रूप में, आई मीन टू से दैट they both, the clergy and nobility, both have the authority of particular land. They had right to use the land according to their own ways. And the third one, the clergy, they had to force to provide their services for them. This was the condition of the Roman Empire. One more thing which is very important you have to understand, that the Christianity was the religion. Christianity, what your book write? आपका बुक कहता है कि the Christianity, the official religion of the Roman Empire from the 4th century, survived the collapse of the Rome and they gradually spread to central and northern Europe. The church also became a major landholders, political power in Europe. The three orders, the focus of the chapters are three social categories: Christianity priests, landowning nobles, and peasants. The changing relationship between these three groups was the important factor of shaping of European history for the several centuries. It means the whole European society divided into three parts: peasantry, nobility, and clergy. The upper class, it means clergy and nobility, they uses their some specific right, and third groups, they were suffered. In this chapter, author want to explain the relationship between each other. Author want to explain with you that what is the meaning of the categorization of the society. My dear student, here I want to inform you that in every state, worldwide level, if you will minutely observe, the society had categorized. In India, if you will read the Indian history, then you can easily understand that in India also the society categorized on the basis of one system. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. Fourth one. There were 4 words according to our Vedas. But it is clearly mentioned that word that was not based on birth. Word based on their occupation. But the scenario day by day after that time totally changed in the later Vedic era. What happened? The word that was decided on the basis of birth. But in starting, the word decided by their occupation. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. Similarly, in Europe, the society categorized into 3 parts: clergy, nobility and peasantry. Over the last 100 years, the European historians have done detailed work on the history of the regions, even the individual village. This was possible because from the medieval period, there is a lot of material in the form of the document, details of the land ownership, prices and the legal cases. My dear student, author want to already inform you about that, the evidences, behalf of that we can know the history of the 3 orders and their conditions. There are the various documents, the various details. These details, these documents gives us information about the exploitation of the clergy and nobility on the 3rd class, 3rd order, that was peasantry. Even the individual village, this was possible because from the middle period. What I am telling, for example, churches, they kept record of the birth, marriage and death, which have made it possible to understand the structure of the families and the population. The inscriptions of the churches give information about trades, association and song, and the stories give sense of festival and the community activities. Dear student, it is very clear that the churches, they have proper documents about the person, about the particular group, about the family, their birth, their death, the funeral ceremony, their marriage, and on the basis of that, we can easily the collected information that how many family live in particular mineral state, कौन कौन था, कितने परिवार थे, और वो चर्च में आते थे तो चर्च उनके लिए पूरी डिटेल तैयार करती थी. ये सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स ऐसे थे जो हमें किस चीज़ की इंफॉर्मेशन देते थे, उनकी सामाजिक स्थिति की, social conditions. Dear student, what I am telling you that the church's documents, it played very important role to give us information about the social condition of the European society during 9th to 16th century. Even nowadays also, the church, they kept record on their own peoples. Nowadays, it is not very strange matter. If you will want to observe, you can see near, आप किसी चर्च के पास जाइए, फादर से मिलिए, फादर इन चीज़ों को आपको क्लियरली बता दें. तो ये जो डिटेल्स थे, ये डिटेल्स भी हमें इन्फॉर्म कर देते हैं, इन्फॉर्मेशन सूचना देते हैं. All these can be used by historians to understand the economic and social life and change over the long period or over a short period like peasant revolt. Of the many scholars in France who have worked on the feudalism, one of the earliest was the Bloch. Marc Bloch was one of the group scholars who argued that the history considered too much more than just political history, international relation, and the lives of the great people. He emphasized the importance of the geography, importance of the spinning human history, and need to understand the collective behavior or attitudes of the group of the people. Bloch's feudal society is about European, particularly French society between 900 and 1300, describing the remarkable details, social relation and the hierarchies, land management and the popular culture of the period. His career was cut short tragically when he was shot by the Nazi in the Second World War. My dear student, it is the very, very interesting work, important work which was done by the Bloch. The specific group of the historians, they felt that the story what we have, that was only explained about the political condition of the Europe. It was explained the specific groups and their opportunities. It was not explained the social and economic condition of the Europe. It not explained that those peoples who belong to, I mean to say that the poverty condition. इन सारी चीजों पे बदलाव आया. इन सभी का प्रयोग इतिहासकार ने क्या किया? जो चर्च के डिटेल्स मिले थे, उन चर्च के डिटेल्स के आधार पर इतिहासकारों ने आर्थिक, सोशियो इकोनॉमिक हिस्ट्री लिखने का प्रयास किया. कितनी पॉपुलेशन बढ़ी, कब कब पीजेंट ने रिवोल्ट किया, और फिर किस तरीके से कम समय के लिए भले ही लेकिन अपनी अनसेटिस्फैक्शन को व्यक्त किया गया. फ्यूडलिज्म पे सर्वप्रथम काम करने वाले विद्वानों में फ्रांस के मार्क ब्लाक फ्रांस के विद्वानों के उस वर्ग से थे जिनका यह तर्क था इतिहास की विषय वस्तु केवल पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री, केवल इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन या केवल ग्रेट पर्सन की लाइफ लिखने में ही नहीं, बल्कि हिस्ट्री में हमें भूगोल के महत्व और मानव के इतिहास करने पे जोर दिया. इतिहास उन लोगों पे ज्यादा जोर दिया जिन्होंने लोगों के समूह के व्यवहार के रूप को समझा. ब्लॉक ने फ्यूडल सोसाइटी विशेषकर 900 to 1300 के मध्य जो फ्रांसीसी समाज था, जो सोशल रिलेशंस थे, जो उसमें कैटेगरीज थी, जो फ्यूडल्स थे, जो लैंड मैनेजमेंट्स थी, उस काल की जो कल्चर थी, उसका एक असाधारण विवरण दिया ब्लॉक ने. लेकिन द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध में नाजियों के द्वारा गोली मारकर हत्या कर देने के कारण ब्लॉक का यह कार्य रुक गया. इट इज अनफॉर्चुनेट फॉर द history that Mark Bloch type of the historians who felt that in history that is not, it is unfortunately for the, I mean to say that it is not good for history that Bloch, he was shot by the Nazi army की तरफ से गोली मारकर उसकी हत्या कर दी गई. This type of person, Mark Bloch type of person, first time they think that we have to think about the special type of history, which was not based on the royal palaces, which was not explained the biography of the king. ये एक ऐसे ग्रुप की कहानी, एक यूरोपियन सोसाइटी की कहानी. पूरे चैप्टर में थर्ड ऑर्डर में हम लोगों ने इनको चलते हमने बात की कि किस तरीके से 9th to 16th सेंचुरी में पूरा बदलाव हुआ. हम लोगों ने देखा कि किस तरीके से सोशियो इकोनॉमिक रिलेशंस बने और इन सोशियो इकोनॉमिक रिलेशन पे दो वर्ग, क्लर्जी और नोबिलिटी ने किस तरीके से पीजेंट्री क्लास के ऊपर एक्सप्लॉइटेशन की, और फिर इनकी हिस्ट्री लिखने का प्रयास मार्क ब्लॉक जैसे इतिहासकारों ने पहली बार सोचा। That was the great work of the Mark Bloch and such type of historians who try to write on that class which was always exploited by the elite class people, the religious people. I already informed you that during 4th century the Christianity was the official language of the Rome. 4th century. And then after 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, what we are going to do? 9th to 16th, 4th to 16th century, the social structure of the Europe where the three order. ये जो तीनों वर्ग थे, ये तीनों क्लास थी, इसका अपना एक अलग रोल था, और इन्होंने एक नए तरीके से इतिहास को एक्सप्लेन करना। सो द वर्ड विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, व्हाट, अब हम इसके बाद क्या देखेंगे? फ्यूडलिज्म या फ्यूडल। व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फ्यूडल? ओके, तो फ्यूडल को देखते हैं, और अगर आप फ्यूडल को समझ लेंगे तो आप इसको आसानी से इस चैप्टर को समझ सकते हैं। व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फ्यूडल? फ्यूडलिज्म feudalism, it means feudal. What we are going to discuss? Feudal. That word feudal, अब यहां पे आपको कुछ चीजों पे विशेष ध्यान देना पड़ेगा, बेसिक चीजों को समझना पड़ेगा कि फ्यूडल का मतलब क्या होता है। जो हिस्टोरियंस थे जिन्होंने फ्यूडलिज्म शब्द का प्रयोग किया, ये किस शब्द, किस सेंस में? फ्यूडल, दैट वाज द जर्मन वर्ड। फ्यूडल क्या है? एक जर्मन वर्ड है। फ्यूडल को दो पार्ट में तोड़ा गया, फ्यूड प्लस, अगर बात करेंगे तो फ्यूड, आई होप, फ्यूड दैट इज द जर्मन वर्ड मीनिंग पीस ऑफ लैंड। तो यहां पे किस चीज पे हम ध्यान देंगे? यहां पे हमें ध्यान देना है कि जो पीस ऑफ लैंड है, जो जमीन का टुकड़ा है,